Weston Baptist Chapel. Thank you for joining us as we continue our journey down the Via Dolorosa. Today is day 33, and we pick up Matthew chapter 13, beginning at verse 24. Here is another story Jesus told. The kingdom of heaven is like a farmer who planted good seed in his field. But that night, as the workers slept, his enemy came and planted weeds among the wheat, then slipped away. When the crop began to grow and produce grain, the weeds also grew. The farmer's work went to him and said, "Sir, the field where you planted that good seed is full of weeds. Where did they come from?" "An enemy has done this," the farmer exclaimed. "Should we pull out the weeds?" they asked. "No," he replied. "You'll uproot the wheat if you do. Let both grow together until the harvest. Then I will tell the harvesters to sort out the weeds, tie them into bundles, and burn them, and to put the wheat in the barn." Let's pick up at verse 36. Then, leaving the crowds outside, Jesus went into the house. His disciples said, "Please explain to us the story of the weeds in the field." Jesus replied, "The Son of Man is the farmer who plants the good seed. The field is the world, and the good seed represents the people of the kingdom. The weeds are the people who belong to the evil one. The enemy who planted the weeds among the wheat is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the harvesters are the angels. Just as the weeds are sorted out and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the world. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will remove from his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. And the angels will throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in their Father's kingdom. Anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand." The disciples had trouble understanding the parable in Matthew 13:24-30. Here is the parable and Jesus' answer to the question of what the parable means. The meaning of Jesus is very clear. However, at the end, Jesus says to his followers, "Listen." This is exactly what he said to the crowd of people listening to all his stories. Now he says it to his followers. This is the same to you and me as well. What does God want us to listen for? First, make sure we are his good seed. Second, understand that there are people who look like kingdom people, but they are not. Their fruit exposes them. Third, God knows who is his good seed. He is okay with leaving the good seed to grow with the bad seed. Fourth, God will deal with each in exactly the right way. We would make mistakes, but he will not. At times, he challenges us and exposes our hearts. He did it to his disciples, and he does it to us today. We know we are his children. We need to know we are his good seed. Still, he tells us to listen. Allow him to show us his heart here, for us his children, for his requirement for justice, for his promise of blessing, for his commitment to see us through all the way to heaven. Take time today to stop and meditate on his heart for us today. Allow him to reveal it to us. Sometimes we do not understand why he allows people to stay when we think that they should be removed. Then we read this and say, "Thank you." He knows better than us. He knows that it is going to produce fruit in our lives. We need to be willing to see that happen. It is difficult, but in the end, it is better for us. So let tough situations produce lots of good fruit in us, our friends, and our families. Let's continue reading, picking up at verse 31. Here is another illustration Jesus used. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed planted in a field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but it becomes the largest of garden plants. It grows into a tree, and birds come and make nests in its branches. Jesus also used this illustration. The kingdom of heaven is like the yeast of a woman used in making bread. Even though she put only a little yeast in 3 measures of flour, it permeated every part of the dough. Jesus always used stories and illustrations like these when speaking to the crowds. In fact, he never spoke to them without using such parables. This fulfilled what God had spoken through the prophet. "I will speak to you in parables. I will explain things hidden since the creation of the world." The parable of the mustard seed is one of my favorite parables of Jesus. Something small and insignificant becomes something big, fruitful, and blesses in ways we do not expect. all because there is life inside of that little tiny seed. It is not the shell, not the size, not what people see or expect. It is the presence of life that makes the difference. The parable of the yeast. This is both wonderful and scary. It only takes something small like yeast to infect the whole bowl of flour. This is the impact we can have, both for good and for evil. Be careful. Let God use us to release blessing that touches and blesses our world. We get so caught up with seeing the impact of great people. He shows us here that the ability to impact our world is not based on the opportunity life gives to us. It is based on the presence of life inside of us. With that life, He can do amazing things in us and through us. Ask the Father to grow this life inside us until it touches our world, all of it. Let it touch our marriages, our children, the church, our neighbors, our city, our country, the entire world. It is not us, it is the life inside us that matters. Release it, let it grow, and bless it. Thank you for joining us. Join us tomorrow as we continue our journey down the Via Dolorosa. God bless.